All right, so starting with the animal poses. First starting just on all fours. Hands directly under the shoulders, knees under hips. Just close your eyes for a second. Focus on your breath. And on your exhale, focus on sucking the belly button in towards the spine like a stomach vacuum without adding any tension through the neck or jaw. So just hollowing out the spine. Maybe grounding the fingertips into the mat. And then when you're ready, we'll take some cat-cow. So you can keep the eyes closed or open them, but you'll drop the belly, roll back the shoulders, look up towards the ceiling. Cow pose. And exhale, little kitty cat pose. And we'll take this slow, actually. So really drawing back the shoulders. And exhaling, stomach vacuum initiates the scoop up into that stretch of the lower back. We'll take one more nice and slow. And exhale, scoop, pushing through the fingertips. And now if you want, we're going to take little circles, but they're going to be kind of messy. So you can let the hips circle around. Maybe you take yourself high and low, so you can bend the arms. You can take it forward and back, a type of body roll. So just kind of getting the kinks out at the back. Just make sure you switch sides. So switch the direction of your circle. And then keep the bottom high in the air as you walk the fingertips as far as you can without getting the forehead on the floor. And then just sinking in, still scooping up the belly button towards the spine. So really nice dynamic stretch in the shoulders and the upper back. One more nice deep breath here. On your exhale, walk the hands back under the shoulders, and so right arm through left. Keep bottom high. This time we're going to try to stack one shoulder over the bottom shoulder for a twist. Option is stay here or take that left arm towards the ceiling, or you can reach for that back hip. So just really finding that twist. One more nice deep breath here. On your exhale, we'll close it, come back to the tops of the palms. Maybe wag the tail side to side. And then so left arm through right, stacking right shoulder over left. Option to stay or take that right arm towards the ceiling. Or you can reach back for that hip. Nice deep breath in. On your exhale, we'll come back through center. This time, the left leg's going to come out to the side. We still are just warming up, so maybe this is a good enough stretch for you. Otherwise, you're going to slide it out really gently, and you're going to follow it with your hands, maybe eventually coming down to the forearms. Keeping your gaze 2 inches above the fingertips. Only if it feels nice, you can take a gentle rock forward, see how that feels. And then on your exhale, take a gentle rock back. So just opening up the hips, gently stretching out the inner thighs. If this feels totally comfortable, we can come back to the hands. So right arm through left. Try to stack the shoulders as much as possible if you can. Maybe take that left arm back up towards the ceiling. Maybe reach back for that hip. One more nice deep breath in. On your exhale, we'll come back to the palms. We'll rondage that leg back under the hips. And then we'll switch sides. Right leg will start to go away from the torso. Maybe you follow it with the hands. Maybe you stop here, or maybe you come down to the forearms. Keeping your gaze about an inch or two above the fingertips. If it feels nice, you can take a gentle rock forward and back. Option to stay, or you can sew left arm through right again. Maybe try to stack the shoulders as much as possible. Maybe you stay here or take that right arm towards the ceiling. One more nice deep breath in. On your exhale, we'll come back to quadruped. Give that tail another rock side to side. Good. One more puppy pose, so tail's gonna stay high. We're gonna take the fingertips away and just allow the back to sink just a tiny bit, still engaging the core, keeping the forehead off the floor this time. One more nice deep breath in. On your exhale, we're gonna drop the forearms by the head, curl the toes, hike up the hips, still a micro bend in the legs. Dolphin pose, you're gonna take that, I have to move forward so I don't hurt my cat. Take your head in between the elbows. So that's a really deep stretch for the tops of the shoulders, trying to just drive that head past the elbows. One more nice deep breath in. On your exhale, we'll walk into the tops of the hands, downward facing dog. Push through the fingertips. Bend the legs a lot for this one, and see if you can get your belly to the tops of the thighs, pushing through the fingertips. So still getting the shoulders, the upper back. And then if it feels nice, you can play with just very gently straightening the legs, gluing the heels in towards the mat. And then bending the legs again. You can take this at your own pace for the next 20 seconds. Grounding yourself through the fingertips. When you're ready, we'll start to very gently walk the toes towards the hands. Hamstrings are still really tight, so if you want to keep them bent to start, you can. In fact, let's all just bend it a little bit. Let the head, neck, upper back hang. And then take your peace fingers in between big toe and second toe. We're going to straighten the legs as much as possible before we want to arch that back. So maybe we take the hands on the tops of the shins, if that feels a little bit better, to find that flat back. If you're all the way down, maybe peeling the toes off the floor, but also taking your weight forward. So you're stretching out the calves as well. If you're feeling discomfort in the lower back, you're just not there right now, keep the knees bent. Release that stretch. Peel left heel off the floor. Left arm's going to follow up towards the ceiling. So all this twisting will help decompress the lower back. Exhale, close it like a book. Switch sides. Right heel's going to pull up. Right arm's going to follow. And release that stretch. We're going to take a slight bend in the legs as we roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Reach the arms towards the ceiling. And then exhale, chin into chest, roll it all the way down. So just getting the case out of the spine. We're going to take a couple more of these, but you're bending the legs before rolling up so you don't aggravate the lower back. Reaching up towards the ceiling and then rolling back down. We'll take one more. Hold down here, scoop above back. Take the arms behind the back, pull shoulders away from the ears. Come up, scoop up the core a lot to protect the lower back. If you can, press the palms together, press them together. And then option to stay here or find a releve balance challenge. Opening up the chest here. 8 more counts. 3, 2, sink heels into the floor. See if you can take arms overhead, forward fold. Option to keep the legs bent or start to straighten them. Option to stay, or if you want, you can take a gentle rock side to side. And release that stretch. Good. Lengthen the legs as you roll all the way up. Perfect. We're going to take the arms above the head. Nice deep breath in. On your exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, step or jump your way back to the high palm plank. Scoot your weight forward. We're going to peel left leg off the floor, taking in for 2, then out for 2. Activating that core, we'll take it double time. So it's exhale, then inhale for 3, for 2, 1, switch sides, right knee in for 2, it's in 2, return it for 2. Good. The more you push into the fingertips, take that weight forward, the less you'll feel it in the wrists. And let's speed it up. It's exhale, then inhale, 3, for 2, 1. See if you can shift the weight forward even more. Bend the arms 90 degrees. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Untuck the toes. Maybe mini cobra, maybe high cobra. On your next exhale, curl the toes, pike up the hips, downward facing dog. Option to walk or jump your way back to Uttanasana. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms above the head. And exhale, release. 2 more, laugh faster. So we're just going to take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, surrendering forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step or jump your way to a high palm plank. Scoot your way forward. Chaturanga, hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Up dog, peeling knees off the floor if you've got it, or mini cobra. On your next exhale, downward facing dog. Step or jump your way back to Uttanasana. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms above the head. Exhale, by your side. Good, one more time. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, small prayer forwards. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, surrendering to your mat. Inhale, high palm plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or high cobra. Exhale, down dog. Step or jump your way back to Uttanasana. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Hold. Walk feet back to downward facing dog. Pushing through the fingertips. To check out your dog, come to a high palm plank. Make sure hands are around your shoulders. And then from that position, back to that down dog. Float the right leg above or towards the sky. If it feels nice, you can bend the knee, open up the hips. Step right leg in between the hands, scooping up the core a lot. Left hand stays by the right foot, right arm's gonna float up towards the ceiling, twist. So now we're gonna walk the right foot just out a tiny bit. We're gonna allow ourselves to find the weight on the sides of our feet. We're gonna let the hips drop. And then use the core like a modified side plank to take it up towards the ceiling. So you'll exhale for 2, inhale, return. 2 more. walk that right leg right in front of you again. Walk up to the tops of the thigh or take the arms overhead, tiny pulses down. For 4, 3, 2, we're going to revolve it. So the left arm is going to come forward, right arm behind. Option to stay or grab for that hamstring, or maybe take the left arm overhead. 8 more counts. Scooping the left hip forward, squeezing left butt cheek. On your exhale, float fingertips back down. Right foot's going to come out to the side again. We're going to find the knee lizard pose. Walk the fingertips away as much as you can like we did for our puppy. And then see if you can fall to the forearms. Keeping the gaze 2 inches above the fingertips. When you're ready, we're going to walk up to the tops of the palms. Take that right leg straight in front of you. Pike back the hips, straighten the leg, keeping that flat back. Right hip's going to come backwards, left hip's forwards, trying to maintain that flat back. If it feels nice, you can now round the spine. Three more breaths. Rock the weight forward. We're going to push off left leg, staying on the right foot to our standing split. If you're more flexible than I am or have better balance, instead of keeping fingertips on the floor, you can grab the ankles, take the head closer towards that shin. Good. Bend the right leg a lot. Scoot that left leg back. Turned out. Windmill arms up above. Warrior 2. Flip right arm towards the ceiling. Take your weight forward before reversing it. One more nice deep breath. On your exhale, back through center. Windmill arms all the way around. Pike those legs back. Pike it up, downward facing dog. Good, same side, we do it all once more, but we're going to get a little deeper into these stretches. So right leg stays up towards the ceiling. Maybe you bend the knee, open up the hip. On your next exhale, knee in towards the chest, step it forward, left hand stays down, right arm up towards the ceiling. Wiggle right leg out a little bit, find the sides of your feet. We'll drop the hips for 2, pike them up for 2. 2 more. Curl the toes, take that right leg in front of you, walk up the thigh, then maybe take the arms overhead, square off the hips, maybe tiny pulses down. 6, 4, 3, 2, left arm comes forward, right arm comes back. Option to grab for that hamstring, or take the left arm overhead. So maybe it's a little bit deeper, a little warmer this time. On your next exhale, take the arms down. Right leg comes out to the side, turned out. Drop the knee to the floor. Walk fingertips away. Drop the forearms to the ground. On your next exhale, find those palms. Wiggle that foot in front of you. Pike back the hips back to that half split. Option to stay, or if you're feeling a little warmer, we're going to find our full split. You're just listening to your body. If you are down kind of far, you're going to work on trying to twist the body towards the right side, so you're stretching out that left hip flexor. time we're gonna curl the toes, bring the knee back under the hip, ronde-jambe the leg all the way around, wag the tail side to side, kind of shaking it out. Awesome, we're gonna curl the toes, pike up the hips, downward facing dog. Left leg finds the sky this time, so left side. Option to bend the knee, opening up the hip. And on your exhale, we'll draw the left knee in between the hands, take the right arm toward the ground, the left arm towards the ceiling. Good. Walk that left leg out, turn it out, find the sides of the feet. We're gonna let the hips dip 2 counts. Here we go. So it's down, 2, return, 2. Good. 2 more. On your next exhale, we'll come back to the ball of that back leg. Wiggle that left foot in front of you. Walk up to the tops of your thigh, or take the arms overhead. Square off that right hip. Tiny pulses down. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right arm comes forward, the left hip comes backwards. Maybe you reach for that hamstring, or take right arm overhead. On your next exhale, windmill those arms back down to the mat. Turn out the left toes, drop the knee to the floor. Walk fingertips away from the torso, maybe eventually dropping down to the forearms, lizard pose. Taking the gaze about 2 inches above the fingertips.
Keep asking myself why you stand by. Keep on drifting. Keep on drifting. Oh, I can feel it coming.
One more nice deep breath on your exhale. Find the tops of the palms. Wiggle the left leg in front of you. Pike the hips back. Left hip going backwards, right hip forwards. Keeping at flat back as much as possible for our half splits. And if it feels nice, you can now start to curl or surrender that upper body towards the leg. We're going to take that left leg forward, pushing off the back of the right toe. Left leg stays on the floor. We're going to find our standing splits. Maybe one or both of your arms comes behind that ankle. On your next exhale, bend the left leg a lot. Turn out that right foot. We'll find our warrior 2. Flip the front palm towards the ceiling. Take the weight forward before reversing it. On your next exhale, we'll take the arms back down. Find that high plank. Curl the toes, pike up the hips. Downward facing dog. Good. One more time, the left leg floats up towards the ceiling. We'll bend the knee, open up the hip. On your next exhale, knee comes in between the hands. Right hand stays, left arm floats up towards the ceiling. Wiggle the toes out, turn them out. Find the sides of the feet. We'll take it down, 2, lift, 2. 2 more. Good. Turn the toes parallel. Walk up to the tops of the thigh. High lunge. Maybe take arms overhead. Tuck the right hip forward. 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right arm forward, the left arm back. Maybe right arm comes overhead. toes out to the side, drop the bottom knee. Walk the fingertips away, maybe drop to the tops of the forearms, lizard pose. When you're ready, we'll come back to the tops of the palms. Take the foot to parallel in front of us, pike the legs back, half splits. Or at this point, if you're feeling warm, you can find your full split. We'll curl the back toes, bring that right knee underneath the left. Take that left leg all the way around, downward dog. Maybe wag the tail side to side. Good, curl the toes, pike up the hips, down dog. Walk the hands to meet the toes, ragdoll the arms, gently rock side to side, shake your head yes and no. We'll come back to those peace fingers directly under the toes, or grabbing the big toe. Find your flat back on your exhale. We'll get a little bit closer to the tops of the thighs, so hopefully we're a little bit stretchier than we were to start. From here, take the toes out to the side, squat the butt a lot. Hands in between the legs, Malasana. If it feels nice, you can take a gentle sway side to side. Good. Now before we get into our crow, you're gonna widen your feet a lot. Take your hands to the tops of the thighs like a wide second position, and then come back to the elbows again. So really opening up the inner thighs. If that feels nice, you can take the left palm towards the inner thigh. And then switch sides. Good. And then we'll take the heels closer together, sink the butt low again, Malasana. Good. All right, fingertips come in front. You have a couple options here. If you're not feeling your crow today, just give me a couple push-ups here and then come right back to this position. Otherwise, walking the fingertips out, keeping the butt pretty high, like we did at the start. Resting elbows to the tops of the triceps, keeping the gaze pretty far forward. Finding your balance. Scooping up the core a lot, keeping the butt higher than you want, keeping the gaze further forward than you want. Good, Nick. Nice, you guys. Good, Brianna. Yes. We got 20 more seconds, keeping the gaze really far forward. That's it, Brianna. Good, 8 more seconds, then it's child's pose. Three, 2, 1, drop the knees. Toes together, knees apart, child's pose. From child's pose, we're going to come back up to our high palm plank. We're going to scoop up the core a lot. And you're going to give yourself very gentle circles up and around. So pushing through the fingertips. Kind of warming up the shoulders, keeping that stomach vacuum engaged. And then take it around the other way. On your next exhale, drop down to the forearms. So we're going to take shoulder shrugs here. So warming up for our headstand. You're going to let the shoulder blades kind of concave in towards each other, and then you're going to pull out of it into the chest. So you're going to let the shoulder blades kiss, belly button still pulled up, and then pull them out. We'll take 4 more. 2 more. Good. Pike up the hips. Forearms stay on the ground. Back to that dolphin pose. Trying to get the head in between the elbows for that shoulder stretch. And exhale, drop the knees, child's pose. All right, going for that headstand now. So you're going to keep that feeling of shrugging the shoulders down. So instead of coming back this way, you're keeping them down away from the head. So your head doesn't have all the weight. It's mostly your shoulders and your arms. You want to be about this distance apart, elbows on the floor. I don't want to hurt my cat if I fall, so I'll come this way. So then you're going to clasp your hands together, find your hairline, and then you'll gently roll it back. Keeping that shoulder shrug down away from the torso. We'll pike up the hips. Start to inchworm your hips over your head. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you take right leg up. Maybe take a couple small hops, keeping the engagement in the shoulders. And then you switch sides, the left leg. Belly button's in that stomach vacuum. Maybe you find an egg. Maybe both of your knees bend in towards the belly. Or maybe you find your half split. I find this the easiest way to find my balance. And then just kind of taking your time. The key is to not panic. So we'll give that about another minute. Try. If your neck starts to hurt, then just find me at child's pose. Good, Nick. Good. That looks good. You are arching your back a little bit, so when you start, get your hips higher than you want to before you kick up, so you don't have to kick too far. That's it. Yes, so much better. Oh, no. Are you okay? Broken you. Since there are both of you, next time, maybe take turns, one person holding their legs up, and then switch, so you can kind of feel what that feels like. Nice job. All right, we'll find our child's pose. From child's pose, we'll take the knees out a lot. You have the option here to take the legs, or the ankles directly under the hips, just opening up the inner thighs again like we did at the beginning. Or if you're feeling extra warm, you can come to a full straddle. And then we'll take the belly forward, take the knees out to the side, arms out to the side, Now the toes are gonna go high, heels are gonna go low, and you're gonna try to take the heels close to the floor without lifting that pelvis in the air. And from here, we'll straighten the legs. Just give yourself a little shake out. And then roll onto your back for a dead bug pose. So it'll just kind of give your lower back a little bit of a break. So you're just gonna take your arms and legs towards the sky. If it feels nice, you can take a little shuggle. So if you just kind of bounce into the mat a little bit, just kind of letting the lower back relax. Alright, from here we're going to glue the feet to the floor, wiggle the shoulders under the hips, clasp the hands behind your back, and then press hips into the sky. On your next exhale, we'll let the back roll down. Option to do that again, or we'll wiggle the shoulders underneath, find our shoulder stand, lift the feet up into the sky. Trying to keep it as straight as possible. I know I'm a little bit forward. Option to stay here, or with bent or straight legs, you can take the legs over the head, close your eyes, reach the fingertips to the opposite direction. Really intense stretch for the neck, upper back. If it's too much, then keep your feet flat on the floor and just hold that position. One more nice deep breath. On your exhale, bend the knees, grab onto the lower back, gently roll on down using the abs. Take the feet flat to the floor, windshield wipe the knees side to side. If your lower back's cranky from that, hold here. Knock the knees together, close your eyes. If you still got a little more, we're gonna find our wheel. So you're gonna take your hands right by your ears, pushing into hands and feet at the same time. We'll pike it up to our wheel. Maybe wagging the head in between the arms. One more nice deep breath here. On your exhale, we'll come on down. Windshield wipe the knees side to side. Take the legs straight up towards the ceiling. Cross the left leg over right a lot. Flex the feet, grab the area above the ankles. Pull to either side of your torso, glute stretch. Now, option to stay here, or you can keep the legs crossed before letting your knees fall over to the right, arms over to the left. If that's too intense, then uncross your knees. And uncross the knees, bring knees straight in towards the belly, legs up towards the ceiling, cross right over left, flex the feet, grab the area above the ankles. Pull the feet to either side of the torso while the tailbone stays down towards the mats. And then when you're ready, either with legs still crossed or you can uncross them, we'll take that twist. And then untwist the knees before bringing them back to the belly. Option to keep feet on the floor, knock knees together if you have a sensitive lower back, or we'll take the legs straight out, close the eyes, Shavasana. notice any tension in the body on your next exhale, just ask it to release a little bit, but don't force anything. You're ready, start to wiggle your hands and toes. Come through your side, all the way to all fours, the way we started class. With your eyes closed. We'll take a couple panting breaths. So with your mouth open and engaging the core, it'll sound like this. Just to build some heat for the rest of the day. So for the next 30 seconds, no tension in the jaw. Here we go. And then when you're ready, toes together, knees apart. Find your child's pose. End with a last thought or prayer. And when you're ready, you can come up to a comfortable seated position. Namaste. Thank you, guys.